damn, I didn't get the sweater.
Welcome back to the LTA North for our second series of the day. Cloud9 Kia versus FlyQuest. Here is Cloud9 arriving a little bit ago. And then they just had to watch 100 Thieves dismantle Team Liquid as they waited for this game they have against FlyQuest. I'm still recovering a bit from that last series we have and just hoping that C9 FlyQuest can live up to that level of bloodiness.
Please, I am praying for a scrappy fight. I know C9 has it in them. Incoming. By the way, why is the owner of the team walking in the teams in the Kia? That's my question. Surely he's the one.
It's not a clown car. It doesn't fit like 50 people.
All right, all right.
You want to cram everyone in there?
I'm sure there's space for Jack, is all I'm saying. But yes, I hope this is a really a scrappy one because I know the team has it. One player that I'm looking out for in particular is Thanatos. Thanatos has been incredible for the team. When they went up against Lion, he had a pretty large lane gap in the Mbessa versus Renekton game. So for me, that series was big. Of course, right now what you're seeing is a different series, but that's a focus on Thanatos.
Yeah, and by contrast, I think if you're looking at a team that is going to be taking those fights, being really bloody, FlyQuest was that opponent when TL initially set that record last year, and then I believe outdid it. And here, I love watching the FlyQuest carries because they are so aggressive, they are so confident in how their team can support them, which by contrast, is going to make Thanatos' job a little bit tougher. The thing, I know you and I have talked about this a lot, Raz, where we thought he looked a lot better in team fights next week, but it's a whole other beast going up against FlyQuest.
That's why I gotta ask you, Jatt, because even though we were hyping up Thanatos' laning phase, but how he's gotten better at team fights, do you think they're gonna be better than FlyQuest in team fights?
No. I think FlyQuest, especially, it'll potentially be draft dependent. If FlyQuest continues to pick for team fighting, I think they're going to continue to excel at it. And I just don't think it's necessarily possible with how much continuity that this Cloud9 team is going to have. And how they won their games last year, where it was usually through lane dominance into just taking over the game.
That's 100% true. I think that there's going to be a little bit of a mix with C9. I'm a little bit more higher on them. To be fair, in game 2, it was messy, so I hope that they cleaned up that one a little bit more. The focus from a lot of the people in the fans in chat is going to be Inspired versus Blaber.
Absolutely.
That one has been crazy. At the beginning of the day, we hyped that one up with the accolades that Blaber has had throughout his time in the LCS and LTA, and of course, Inspired throughout his career, and the amount of games that they've had just in general and impact on winning that they've had.
High win rates for both of them.
Yes.
High number of games, but then also general excellence throughout their entire career. Look at this, 5 and 4 Worlds appearances, 2-time and 4-time LCS champion, double MVP over on the left for Inspired, and then the 7-time first team LCS All-Pro for Blaber shows how he's kind of ran this league's jungle game for years and years and years. But now I feel like at the moment, Inspired is a step above him in perception.
Yeah, they've both been successful and consistently successful. The roads they've taken to get there are wildly different though, right? Because Inspired came in, super hyped rookie, has changed a lot of teams, came over to the LCS. Previously, meanwhile, Blaber, he was a C9 trainee, right? Really scouted really early on, brought up entirely by the C9 organization, now a staple that's almost synonymous with C9 as an org.
And it's kind of weird to think about it because for Blaber, a player that has been the C9 franchise player for that organization, this year is the one where he's had so much change, right? Because, of course, now having Loki, you already see Anero as the assistant coach. Last split, of course, bringing in Thanatos. Whereas with Inspired, he has the same team that has just been as dominant. So it's going to be Blaber that is going to have to prove a lot with the team that he has and seeing if Loki in specific, but of course Thanatos and the team can really gel when it comes to those team fights.
Yeah, and this is the first time that's happened to Inspired, right? This is the first time where he's coming in with an all-new roster, and I think the biggest thing, we saw those FlyQuest team fights earlier on, it's about Inspired being able to be so flexible. We know he can be a carry. We knew that all the way back on Rogue with the Viego pentakill, right? It's about him stepping back, and he'll joke about meowing for his bot lane, but really, really setting up for these FlyQuest carries. By contrast, Blaber, like you said, Raz, is now surrounded by new carries in Loki and Thanatos, who's in his second year.
And what you've seen in front of you are familiar faces. So Blaber, who's worked with Vulcan throughout the former iterations of Cloud9, and of course last year as well. But I think it's going to be a question about bringing in the supports for this team, because Inspired and, of course, Busio's had so far a really, really good start of the split, and I think both of them work well in tandem with each other, being able to impact mid lane. I want to see a little bit more of that, because we've seen the high highs of Vulcan. Vulcan, of course, I thought had a great week last week, but if we want to see consistency from this team, we want to see them setting up fights well. Game 1 for Cloud9 versus Lion was a great example of that in that team fight around Grub. So if we see something more like that, this is going to be a very good series.
I agree. And the last thing I want to touch on is the re-hit on the top laners between Bwipo and Thanatos. Because if you've been following on Twitter, Bwipo tweeted out a giant graphic of all his top lane priorities, which you can go and follow along with, which includes basically Jayce, Cassante, Ambessa, and then all of his possible pocket picks. But then you also have Thanatos, who plays Renekton and Gnar.
Yeah.
So it is diametrically opposed philosophies on how to play top lane and how you approach your champion pool. So I'm really curious how that gets attacked in the Fearless draft. Because what we saw in the last series really early on was teams just picking the other team's best champion right away, because it's a series-long ban. That's the only way you can ban something for the whole series and prevent them from playing it is by picking it themselves. So even though Bwipo tweeted out this whole, I'm going to talk about the big three, maybe he just locks in Gnar in the first game or Renekton early to take it away. Going to be very interesting, and we're almost ready for our second series of the day. But first, FlyQuest has a new charity initiative, and it involves Otacon.
Hi guys, it's FlyQuest CCE here, Basil. You might have heard of TreeQuest, BQuest, Tquest, and now we're introducing CatQuest. This year, FlyQuest is focusing our charity efforts on animal welfare. We're partnering with the Stray Cat Alliance, which educates and empowers communities to advocate for every cat's right to be safe, healthy, and valued. For LTA Split 1, whenever Catacon is adopted in a FlyQuest game, we will cover the cost to adopt a cat. If we are the team to adopt Catacon, then we'll double our donation. Last week, in our public scrim against Shopify Rebellion, we played 2 games. We, FlyQuest, adopted both Catacons, which means 4 cats in total were able to find their forever homes. There will be more updates to our commitment to impacting animal welfare that we will announce alongside our team's journey to lifting the Summoner's Cup. Woohoo! So yeah, that's CatQuest. Make sure to check out the Stray Cat Alliance here, and make sure to cheer for us versus Cloud9 this weekend. Bye!
All right, welcome back to the LTA North, everybody. It is time for our second series on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. We have already qualified one team now for the competition in Brazil in a couple weeks with 100 Thieves victory over Team Liquid. Now, C9 going up against FlyQuest, and I feel like most people are probably betting on FlyQuest for this one.
The most hype and the most conversation is all around FlyQuest. After they destroyed Shopify 2-0 in their first series, they immediately took to social media. You know, Bwipo in the interview afterwards, immediately talking about, this is all you have. You know, you better prep for us harder. You've had so much time. So now we're going to put them to the test with a stronger opponent here, Cloud9, and see what Cloud9 have prepared. This is a team that did an over 1 month boot camp in Korea before this season even started for LTA. So this is one of the teams with the most amount of prep coming into this split of LTA. And we'll see what they've prepared to try and attack FlyQuest. Because as Bwipo also said, you know, a lot of FlyQuest priorities in the way that they like to draft and the way that they like to play these games, structured with very secure 5-on-5s, often having heals and shields in the team to make sure their 5-on-5 is going to be good, was evident throughout all worlds, has been evident for a very long time. So lots of study material is available on this team, of course, with them sticking with the exact same roster and running it back.
I'm excited to see what C9 can bring against them. I know that pretty much everybody in North America was excited by FlyQuest's run at Worlds, how much they leveled up, the fight they put up against Gen G. Everybody's just excited to see what they continue bringing. But let's not forget, Cloud9 historically is one of North America's best teams, both domestically and internationally. The last time North America made semifinals at Worlds in 2018, it was Cloud9 taking down a Korean team in the quarterfinals. C9 has this ability ability to find success where other teams don't. And now, even though they've got the fresh roster, they've been in the boot camp in Korea, they're going up against the same FlyQuest squad from last year. Let's see if they got the magic.
Plus, Cloud9 are one of the teams that had an early answer to, Bwipo's conversation about streaming the scrims. Jack got out on social media and he was like, I'm down. Reaper as well had a little comment like, Reaper's down. So it does seem likely in the future that we will also have these two teams be at least one of the kind of experimental streaming scrims. But starting off here on stage games first and promotion games at that.
Yeah.
Winning this is huge. You do get to go to kind of the new structure of playoffs, which will be the Americas tournament format here, where they go down to Brazil and fight for that spot.
But, of course, since both these teams already won in week number 1, it's not like this is your last shot. This is the upper bracket. You can punch that ticket with a win here today, but even the team that loses is going to have the opportunity again next week, 1 week from today, on that Sunday, to play one last best of 3 for that final chance to be one of the teams. It is the top 4 here from NA. It'll be the top 4 from Brazil going head-to-head there in that Americas competition that you're talking about with the new format. So obviously both teams, they want to be a number 1 or a number 2. It's not just about having the better matchup against a weaker opponent from Brazil. You want to make a statement. You want to start off 2025 saying you're one of the guys to keep track of.
Especially when Bwipo's yapping real early.
Oh yeah,
yapping often, early and often. You definitely want to get in there for the trash talk as well. Of course, we have a slight delay here, trying to get the players organized and up into the game very shortly, so hopefully we will get that on the road soon. These are also two of the teams, though, in talking about how much Bwipo has been on social media. He straight up tweeted out his full draft priorities for top lane. It was like, I don't know if I can give our priorities for the other lanes. I'll leave that up to them. Maybe in the future they also follow suit. But he was down and he tweeted out his whole little graphic there, with the first pick, Jayce / Cassante, depending on the Ambessa bans that are or not there. And we'll see. Track it as they follow it down and see about those the counter picks that do come out. Meanwhile, from Cloud9, Vulcan, I can already see in the pre-lobby chat is talking about it to him, and he was like, well, thank you so much. We will follow your draft priority. So let's see if they actually follow through and both teams follow it.
I've been told in my ear, I think it's 4 different players are claiming that they need emergency bathroom break right before the series starts. There might be a line at the toilet.
4 simultaneous emergencies.
That's a lot of emergencies.
Interesting.
I feel like
there's something that we could have done a little bit beforehand to avoid this situation.
Perhaps. Yeah. Perhaps.
Maybe a little bit of...
If only the bathroom wasn't sealed by arcane magic before the...
Yeah. Nice. We got some shots at the culprits here.
Yes.
You can by process of elimination, you can figure it out. Zven's got empty chairs on both sides.
The only
so
responsible one.
If you line up in the lobby, that would be support and jungle. So
yeah. If they're on your screen right now, they're not causing the issue.
Yeah,
those in front of us right now are the innocent ones.
The good boys. The good players.
Yeah.
Well done.
The non-emergencies.
Okay, so at what point do we blame the players for these emergencies, and what point do we blame the coaching staff for them? Because, Cloud9, they just signed Dinero. He's a general manager / coach for the team / player handler. I don't know, Flowers. Where are we placing the blame here?
I don't know, man. If I'm in Nero, I'm drawing the line and having to schedule their bladders. That's I'm here to coach Blaber. I'm not here to coach Bladder. Okay. That's
Blaber's bladder
if
has
I'm
already
Nero, that's
fallen.
where I'm going with it.
First blood of this series. Actually,
protect your bladder when you're playing League of Legends.
We sincerely hope that there is no blood involved in any of these bathroom trips. That would cause a longer issue. So let's clean it up, everybody.
Let's make sure we keep it clean on the rift.
Let's clean it up
and
on and off. At what point though do you need to schedule time in and kind of say, okay, everybody, this is your allotted, bathroom time before we get up there. Okay, anyways, into the game now, Flowers. Back to the drafts.
Back to the drafts.
Back to the drafts here.
In-game moment.
In-game focus
yes,
here.
sir.
Okay, so.
Okay.
Both of these teams.
In the game.
Into the
League of Legends.
Let's get it. Okay, we have 4 people in the lobby. I'll update you here. We're
Wait. If we only have 4, that means we're missing 6.
Yeah, we're at 40%. But you can see way more than that are sitting down at their computers. So it's a very, very small jump from sitting at your computer to then joining the lobby. So I personally have a lot of confidence that within the next few minutes, we'll be at least 60% of players into the lobby.
I don't know, man. I don't know how much confidence I have in this bathroom pathing. I don't know how quickly they're able to move from bathroom to sink to hallway.
Okay, now it looks like we got some monitor adjustments going on.
Okay,
but if this time is already being, delayed by the previous issue, then this one doesn't really count. He's just making the most of the extra time he's got.
Right. You're already waiting for one teammate to get ready to join the team fight. So if another guy's clearing a wave at the same time, it's fine. We're already still waiting on the first guy. Okay.
Right, monitor adjusted. We have all FlyQuest members sitting down.
Okay, so this is a C9 issue now.
It actually is a bad thing, though. You see he's going under the desk now.
Oh.
That's a Busio computer issue that might be popping up. We're going to cross our fingers real hard here, Flowers.
Okay. Both fingers crossed. Cross my hands.
Okay. Maybe we just do a quick little turn it off, turn it back on.
Yeah, that always works for me. It's pretty amazing when you think about it that we've got, think about how much more advanced video games and computers and everything are over the last, 20 years or whatever. But you still turn it off and turn it back on.
Yeah. We're getting a little zoom in here, too. I like this. Over the shoulder.
Okay.
Let's watch the master at work. He did the turn off and on the monitor as well, Flowers. So quick update on that.
Busio's computer, I've been informed, Busio's computer turned off.
Oh,
we are now turning it back on.
Oh, it turned off by itself.
I don't know. I just heard that it was turned off.
Okay.
I don't know if a boot was accidentally applied to a button. I don't know what might be going on here, but the computer is being turned back on.
Are we blaming Busio's boot or the computer itself?
Blaming Busio's boot, bodaciously.
He's sticking around for a long time. Okay, it does not take that long to turn it back on, so this might be a separate issue here. Let's see. Little conversation going on. All right, headset is 1 ear off. Explaining to him now. A little circular motion there with the explanation.
Delayed start. PC start. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Couple smiles though. Maybe is that a good sign?
I feel like if you
leave
your headset in that position for too long, your ear is going to feel weird because it's folded at a strange angle.
I think right now he's saying, I don't want it to turn off while we're playing in the match. So is there a way that I can avoid that? Can we ensure that it won't randomly turn off while we're playing?
That would not.
And now he's consulting.
Desirable.
We're consulting now. We've got two top guys on it at the moment.
Do you ever have those problems back in the days? You know that stupid Windows update thing that you can't get rid of, and it always wants to shut your computer off and give it some useless update?
Don't trust those Windows updates.
I used to lose solo queue games to that. I would have to go outside and take a walk. If I would lose because of me missing a smite or something, I'd be like, okay, that's my fault. If I lose to Windows update, I have to go on a walk. I can't be on the Rift anymore. It's no longer safe.
And the most frustrating thing that is out of your hands, if you just have an internet issue, your internet service provider is failing you.
Yeah. Like somebody runs over the internet pole or something, you're done. Just because of some guy.
That one is a mega tilter.
Completely out of your control.
I'm going to check in with chat as well to see if we have any computer experts there that could add to this, because there's an ongoing conversation here for Busio. Like, this looks pretty in-depth, a little tilt to the side of the head, thinking...
Yeah. See what they've got to say. Let's figure it out.
We do have some geniuses in the LTA chat, so...
Chat, say feet if you have an answer for how to help
Don't do that! You're going to get banned! Don't do that! Flowers loves getting people banned! Don't be a Flowers casualty here in chat. Save yourself.
It's okay.
Don't type anything he tells you to type. Don't trust strangers.
This should be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh God! Oh, Flowers! It's a bloodbath. I can already see it. Your murders are just racking up.
It's okay. It's funny. That's
yeah. Those are not temporary, right?
I don't know.
Flowers, has anyone ever uttered the phrase to you, with great power comes great responsibility?
That's from Spider-Man, bro.
Not originally.
Really?
Yeah, actually, it was me. Yeah, I came up with
you.
It. Yeah, so
all the way back before Spider-Man.
I do get royalties.
Okay.
You know, every time they use it.
I guess when you mention it, Spider-Man is a teenager. And the point
is, that's not really the point, though. You know, the point is that it's true. So I'm looking at you right now, and I'm trying to reinforce this. Sir, you have great power in influencing the sheep.
Are you saying that I'm not acting responsibly right now?
Actually, I think it would be really funny if you got Jatt to say feet, because Jatt is in the chat right now, too.
Jatt, type feet.
Jatt.
Right now.
Don't worry, Jatt, because you are a VIP, it won't ban you.
Oh, trust me, it will.
It definitely will not.
Flower. Yep,
right, there you go.
It will not.
It definitely will
If you are
not
a VIP
ban you, Jatt.
or a subscriber or anything, you can type it and you'll be fine.
It's actually one of the big perks that we enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead and do that.
Don't forget.
Wait a second, you've corrupted me now.
To subscribe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, while we're here, by the way, does anyone have this thing called Amazon Prime? And then you might have something called Twitch Prime. So
tell me more.
There is this really neat feature that if you have already subscribed to Amazon Prime, then if you click on this little subscribe button right there, Flowers, you see that?
Can I then type feet without getting banned?
You know, I'm unsure. I'm unsure as to.
So it sounds like we need people to help us find out.
Oh, test it. Okay, gotcha. Yep.
It would almost be like they're a part of the team right here with us.
Well, you know what I see on screen is a bit of a draft going on. So I think we're going to get back to some League of Legends because I've been told that they are also unsure. If we get fired, it might be because of this. It might not. But if we get back to the game now, then there's a slightly lower chance that we don't get fired. So that...
Okay.
Wait, that we do.
Wait.
No, don't.
No.
Okay, yeah. Start the
we
game.
don't want to get... Okay,
yeah, we don't.
Into the game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LTA North and the beginning of our beautiful series here in a best of 3 between Cloud9 and FlyQuest to determine who's our second team going to Brazil.
You know what else? We're going to follow Bwipo's Cassante priority here.
All right.
Bessa is banned. He goes with the Cassante first side blue pick over the Jayce.
Okay, so Jayce available, Aurora, Yone, and Bessa banned out by Fly, C9. Double targeting junglers, Ivern and Skarner alongside the Kalista, and
I need to tell you a cautionary tale.
Looks like Jayce.
At the moment. Flowers, I was there. I was actually, I was here. I was actually next to you when it happened, and it was very recent. A Vi was first picked by Team Liquid, and that Vi
set a record.
It was piloted by Umpty. It set a record.
Yeah.
An LCS record.
Not just LTA.
Not
LCS,
just LTA.
Everything.
Exactly.
Everything. Both together.
Just the entire expanse of both the lifetime of the LCS and the LTA. The most deaths of anyone in a single game.
Not the record.
It was a first pick Vi.
Yeah.
And this one here, which is going to go presumably into the hands of Blaber.
One would hope.
One would hope that is not a record-setting Vi first pick.
Well, Blaber, we're assuming, has recently evacuated his bladder, so he will be calm, cool, and collected as he's ready to play the Vi.
Funnily enough,
in his first game, first pick.
When you do have to pee, you are going to be more stressed, so you probably are more focused. So, but it's definitely more healthy to relieve the bladder before playing. So let's focus back in on this because we did once again get a little bit off track.
Slightly.
Yeah. And so the other side, we are going to match with that AP jungle on the other side with the Zyra.
Okay, we got Zyra.
And Zyra is a power farming AP jungle. One of the best things about it is that you can start walking away from your camps very early on and walk to the next one. Her clear speed, because of this, is one of the fastest in the entire game. So if you're not careful as a Vi, which is substantially slower clear speed, that really has to play off of making plays with the team, then you can be vastly outpaced in income. in gold, and that is something that Inspired is well known for. So our jungle matchup that the analyst desk highlighted so well for us in the intro, which was before the pause and before a lot of our enlightened discussions that we have had here today, set up for us. So that was quite nice and accurate of the analyst desk. Really appreciate them for doing that for us.
I mean, when we go back to Inspired's humble corporate roots, we remember him as the CEO of Jungle from this same time last year when we were having the AP Jungle full clearers, and he was just speeding through. Stocks going through the roof, constantly power farming, constantly topping out the economies, constantly making sure that he was the big AP missile flying towards the enemy team every single time. So I have no doubt in my mind he'll be able to run some of that back. We'll see if C9 can manage to contain it. Obviously, Zyra is vulnerable. If you can catch her out of position, if you can catch her off guard, all of that speed clearing is not going to matter if she's getting punched to death because she has no way away from the Vi.
That's true.
So we'll see. We'll see if C9 can collapse and punish the immobility on that champion. It's Ashe and Elise banned out by C9. Two bottom lane bans now. Elise, of course, much more of a support than a jungler these days. As Varus and Rakan banned out by FlyQuest. What is going to be our pick first for C9? Leona, the answer.
Okay, really good pairing here to have such strong engage. Very clearly, Leona Vi, full send, looking for that dive. On the side of FlyQuest, the answer here, with the hovers at the very least, did seem like they were hinting at Quad taking the Corki and possibly drafting their whole bottom lane at the moment. Busio, I was watching Busio's stream last night. A lot of these players, by the way, both Cloud9 and FlyQuest are some of our most prolific streamers. You should definitely tune in after LTA days. The majority of them actually do turn them on.
Oh, hell yeah.
Busio was streaming 3 support Elise games in a row. And so when I saw that support Elise hover, I wasn't buying it flowers. He lost every single game. I didn't actually track his KDA, but I believe it was something like 0 and 50.
I thought you were gonna
kill death. So.
I thought you were gonna give me like a really.
It was like something like that, you know. Okay, back into this.
So maybe it was just 0 and 45. I feel so much better now.
All right, Flowers, focus up a little here.
Okay,
buddy.
sorry, I'm distracted. Yeah,
no.
my bad.
So Cassiopeia has been picked up. Some of the weaknesses of Cassiopeia, Flowers, are that she can get outranged. Yeah. But she's very good at counter engage. So. You know, seeing the Vi and the Leona there in the draft, they felt like they really wanted this counter engage. Quad, of course, has been highlighted in a lot of their games as being this legacy Cassiopeia player. But looking for some very strong counter engage with that plus the Zyra, they certainly do have that. There are some possible difficulties, though, with adding the Ezreal onto the Jayce here.
Okay.
Having some long-range possibilities here. Maybe we'll see the poke of Cloud9 be a tool that they can use as the game goes on. The range there. And, of course, they have massive playmaking when you've got Vi, Azir, and Leona. As long as you choose your moments wisely, you can try and work around a lot of that counter engage.
Yeah, tons of tools there in C9's belt. That means when I'm looking across the aisle at FlyQuest, I really just see the Rell as the primary engage. So that's telling me, okay, Busio, it's time to take all of the bad memories of support Elise and 0 and 50 or whatever. We flush those. We leave those in the bathroom break before the game. Okay. And then we bring in the Rell, and we got to trust the judgment, trust the call. We got to crash down and crash hard. But like in a good way.
Okay. Focus up, lock in. Crash.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll try and avoid the crash.
It's the ability. It's the ability name.
Yeah.
You're Rell.
Exactly.
I'm role playing as the character.
Yep. Crashing down into the team fight.
Okay. That's what we're doing.
Yep.
C9 versus FlyQuest. Spot in Brazil on the line.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Also, by the way, whoever wins this series is going to then have a single game seeding battle at the end of the day to fight 100 Thieves for the title of #1 seed, rank 1 LTA North team, heading down to the Americas tournament there to represent us in that tournament.
And remember, it's not just for the title of being the #1 seed. It means you also get to play the weakest Brazilian team when you first get there, because our #1 plays against their #4, and then vice versa. So you get the top spot, you get to beat up their weakest guy. Get a nice, what is it, like confidence booster match, just strut into Brazil. You're on their turf. You get to start off by kicking butt.
What did APA call it? The team bonding matches?
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them, they actually then lost to that team bonding
Well, they
team.
need to do some more bonding.
Yeah. So, into this one, looks like we are starting off with top side clears for both. Interesting. So Inspired here on the Zyra, going to be pathing away from the lane swap, and lane swap enacted by Cloud9. No deep wards, so they didn't get the early alert yet, but Ezreal, Leona up to the top side there for Cloud9 lane swap. Cassante does quite well in the lane swaps, and it looks like Inspired will at least be able to steal away. You call it kind of stealing away as the jungler when you take camps from your top laner's side of the map in the lane swaps, because sometimes as it goes on, it can be a lot more dangerous. So we'll keep track of this jungle pathing, because sometimes the junglers are actually the ones that win out the biggest in lane swaps. And we mentioned in Champion Select Flowers the clear speed of Zyra being one of the best in the entire game. Inspired currently has fully cleared that kind of weak part of the map. So we'll track him and see, does he cross from blue quadrant to blue quadrant here? Because if you do, then you can play off your pushing bottom lane of Massu and Busio, the duo, and you can try and starve out Blaber early. Currently, he is at least stopping out here for these Raptors. Let's see where he walks next. He's just going to do a regular clear. He is not going to go for the invade because it was called that the Leona recalled there. So Vulcan getting his recall off on Leona has protected the jungle for Blaber, resulting in Zyra not going for the invade and not going off of this pushing bottom lane. So Blaber is allowed to clear some of these weaker side camps for himself and keep pace with the Zyra, at least for now.
Inspired also starting with kind of a cheat plus 50 gold on Zyra, because you don't ever have to buy the health potion at the beginning, since you're never really taking any damage.
I do that cheat all the time, yeah.
Well, you're a volleyball player. Volleyball don't take no damage either. He's also getting to cheat.
All right, here he comes. Cheater alert. He's walking over the wards. Doesn't have to buy the potion, as he said. Is going to get the bottom scuttle grab.
Whoa. Zven with the flash forward, but he misses the follow-up damage. No chance to kill Bwipo after that one, but really playing aggressive here.
Okay, resources exchanged. It is interesting because they should know that Blaber is going to get topside crab, since they're going for the recall here for Inspired after bottom side crab is picked up. And with Vi being up on that top side is going to be kind of the reverse scenario here. Zven going in once again, though, to try and keep up as much damage, as much bully potential on Bwipo as possible, and try and get that recall out. Let's see about the recall on the bottom side. Already started there. Yep, Massu and Busio switching right on over. So they'll head over, no problem.
All right, TP going bottom. Bwipo will catch this wave, be ready immediately to answer that one. First dragon of the game is going to spawn here in about 45 seconds as Zven tries to get away from Inspired. Whoa. The grasping roots barely miss out on grabbing him there. Surely that would have been some bad news for the Cloud9 AD carry. Does have the cleanse, though, so should have been able to pop it even if it hit him.
Oh, it's going to help him fast shove. So Inspired sticking around to fast shove topside while Busio looks mid for this play. Loki forced to use a decent amount of mana to jump back to turret, but that is all it's going to cost him. Just a little bit of mana.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that one. He's not too pressed about losing that much of the bar. He'll be okay. Has the recurve bow in the inventory alongside the potion and the cookies. You can see Quad got his back. Not quite as happy with it, I would think, since you only have the most basic components with the Amp Tome and the Sapphire Crystal. He is putting some good damage there into Loki, though, with those Serpent's Fangs. Very, very, very difficult if you stay inside the range of that to ever deal with the DPS potential. Back up in the top side, though, the 2v2 has finally resumed. Down there in the bottom lane, Bwipo finally getting the lane against Thanatos, as Massu and Busio have control over the topside push. Bwipo doing the same thing here on the bottom part of the map. First set of grubs not spawning for another 35 seconds as junglers are still just clearing back through their camps.
Yeah, Inspired here with his finished Faded Ashes, ending on the bottom side once again. Both of them are double protective control wards up for Cloud9. To try and see if there is any sort of movement there. But 20 seconds on grubs, you have to assume the Zyra team is going to be able to move up to that. Quad now level 6 on his Cassio as well. Goes to drop the extra ward here. So
I like it.
Interesting. They assume that there's gonna be an attempted objective trade, and they want the extra vision on it. because they do have the mid lane priority because of all this harassment that you've seen and the extra trade damage there from Quad. He was able to get now the push on Loki after Loki has no teleport already, and he invested that control ward. I want to see, wait a second.
We've already got a little bit of scrap going on up here on the top side as Busio's down to 100 HP and some serious danger. First blood over to Vulcan. C9 whooping him in the 2v2.
I wanted to see if this control ward invested to see Dragon was going to do anything, but Inspired's actually top for the counter dive.
Inspired dropping the Stranglethorns, immediately kills Vulcan. They follow it up. It's a double for the jungle CEO on FlyQuest.
I mean, that's just efficient, Flowers. He's got double full clears into grubs into double kill at the tower. Inspired will be the one to track for gold here. Massive boost to him now. I mean, honestly, too, the more money you funnel into Zyra, from Faded Ashes then up to Leandries, makes your clear insane. You basically just get to start a camp and almost immediately walk away from it because the burn is going to do so much work finishing. So we'll see about the continued full clear. It was actually a FlyQuest initiated play there. They were trying to punish Zven, but unable to do so. Busio, yeah, I can see.
That was a bad crash down.
Yeah,
that's not the right kind of crash.
He crashed down, but he crashed, yeah.
He crashed and burned.
Crashed and burned. Yep, there you go. He was, yeah, he wanted to take advantage, but it's okay because your CEO is here to clean up for you. Inspired comes up and he's able to finish the job.
Yeah, works out perfectly for the side of FlyQuest there to come back, end up coming out on top in that one anyway. They've got themselves nice little, 750, 800 gold lead. Feeling pretty good about that. They secured the first 3 grubs. Meanwhile, C9 taking that first Drake. The Hex Drake means we will not get a Hex Soul, so no gates, no super-powered Soul if you manage to collect all of the first 4. FlyQuest 1 kill away from the feat of warfare. Both teams making slow progress towards that neutral objective one. And I feel like most of the time, you don't really ever see the turret feat until 14 minutes anyway, and the plates are gone. So that one's still a ways away.
Yeah. There we go. Right on over the wall. Easy peasy. So where is this speed demon going to go?
He's cruising, man.
He wants that. He wants that tiny bit. There we go.
There it is.
Get the other one too.
One last shot from the plant. Nicely done.
I mean, so it actually is really big. The tiny Krugs have a huge amount of the gold value in them. So cleaning up every little last piece here for the Zyra is nice, and that gets him to not only the Leandries but also a control ward here.
Big
for Inspired as they continue to farm away.
Now, we did see Massu have to spend the cleanse up here in the top side. Did get caught a little bit, so wanted to make sure that he did not give away a free kill against C9. Still, we've got a minute and a half until the next set of grubs spawn. Still 2.5 minutes away from the next dragon. I feel like in most games, Kobe, unless somebody's really running away with it in the early game, teams will usually try to challenge that second set of grubs. So that's what I'm kind of waiting to see from C9 here. Do you want a full challenge for it? Do you want to just go in, try to smite one of them down? Inspired and Busio, got to be a little bit careful here. They are outnumbered at the very beginning of the fight, and Busio immediately absorbing so much damage, but he barely gets away. The Ignite finally ticks down and kills them, but they're ready to take one back. Loki is the sacrifice. FlyQuest claiming the feat of warfare, 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, honestly, FlyQuest will take that one happily. Able to get the kill onto Loki again, and Loki doesn't have teleport because he had just used his teleport again, so this is going to slowly rack up. You already see the CS difference in mid, and a lot of these kind of delays and a lot of this harassment here keeping those numbers down for Loki, but just continue to pump up here for Quad. And here's a look at it. Busio is actually okay with sacrificing his life. He almost, if he was not ignited, would be able to get out of it, but he's able to get them grouped up for Inspired, and Zyra over the wall sets it up for Quad to be able to flash in and start to get some extra money onto this Cassiopeia. So now you really have dual AP carry threats on the side of FlyQuest. Both the Zyra and the Cassio getting some fairly substantial leads early into this game. And those things melt objectives like no other. This is probably the 2 best in the entire game, Flowers, at just melting objectives off their first items. Massive burn from both of them. So with a full 6-pack of grubs picked up, FlyQuest are positioned well to take turret plate money as well as burn through the rest of the objectives in the game. quite nice for them, at least the focus of where their gold has gone. It's not just a 1,000 gold lead for the team, but kind of where it has gone for them.
And those big spikes, I'm glad that you bring up the first couple of items. We already mentioned Leandri's on the Zyra, Blackfire Torch on the Cassiopeia, dots on dots on dots on dots. Both of these champions so obnoxious to deal with at this point in the game. And FlyQuest now, with all 6 grubs in their possession, that is so much turret taking power, and they are now only 1 neutral objective away, by the way, the next dragon spawning in about 10 seconds, from being able to claim the extra boots, the feats of strength.
Yeah. Already we're looking at, actually we're looking at Blaber take a little bit of a chunk, a big chunk.
Yeah, we got a whole all-in coming out from Bwipo, but now Thanatos is looking to make a difference in the fight here himself. Bwipo going back in a 1v2. He is not scared of these guys. Making a 1v3 as Vulcan's ready to make his entry. Third and Tofo strike ain't gonna matter because finally Zven gets it done with a true shot barrage. It took 3.5 to stop Bwipo.
I feel like we saw real-time ego inflation off of the 1v2, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep going, and he got a little bit like blood crazed, and he was like, I can win the 2v1, and Inspired is coming to back him up, but one extra chase a little bit too far there does get chopped down, and we'll see. Still objective picked up for FlyQuest though. They're not too unhappy about it.
Bwipo might have been blood crazed, but he got Blaber's ulti, he got Zven's ulti, he got Vulcan's ulti, and he got Thanatos' flash. That is a massive amount of resources from C9 that now no longer want to fight for the Drake. The feats of strength go over to FlyQuest. Honestly, I'm going to call that good death.
Yeah, still good. Still good. Honestly, too, I don't think they're done down here.
No, sir. Thanatos in danger. Massu putting the damage on him, but not quite enough. Thanatos can clear out the wave. The Ignite not going to take him anywhere even close to dead. Still above half HP. Bwipo coming back down here. Has Flash. But no ulti ready to go. Flash with a Shattering Strike, and there we go. Bwipo's bloodthirst will finally be sated as he claps down Thanatos.
Flowers, this game, even though it's still pretty early on, does feel very, very one-sided. The 6 grub bonus for Massu here, who is the only carry on FlyQuest that hadn't gotten early kills and early money.
Who needs him?
But he's going to get an entire tower on bottom side to himself. And that was with a lot of tower plates. So the AD threat is also going to be here for FlyQuest to complement those dual AP carries that already got fed quite nicely.
It's scary, man. And that was even before the plates fell. All 5 plates right there for Massu. The Corki's feeling great. Once he goes back to the base, should have that Trinity Force. There it is, purchased up. Halfway charged on the tier towards the Manamune as well. That will be able to evolve to Muramana. As Quad has control over the mid lane push. Vulcan's hanging around nearby, but he does not want anything to do with that snake.
Yeah. They did get their feats of strength. And Cassio, although...
They got all 3 of them, technically.
Cassio has no feet.
Yeah, no shoe.
Chat, how many feet does Cassio have?
Yeah,
and also
how many feet? Not just the number. Make sure you say how many feet does Cassio have?
Yeah, how many? Oh, Thanatos under attack again.
Yeah, Thanatos is, his feet better start moving. Crash down from Busio. This time it strikes true. Pathmaker from Bwipo. They want to give this kill over to Quad if they can, and yes, sir, they'll do just that. FlyQuest 5-3, 1,500 gold ahead.
Fun thing that, maybe we have a little surprise here. Bwipo is so tanky, though.
I don't think Bwipo cares about this surprise. He's just like, okay, hello, and he walks away. Not really an issue for the big brick wall in the top lane for FlyQuest. Yeah. You're seeing Loki at least try to get something done top lane in the meantime, but man, FlyQuest controls the enemy jungle.
It's like when, if like Raz or something is trying to scare you, he jumps out behind the corner and Flowers just stares him down.
Hey, Raz.
Hey, Raz.
Hey, Raz. What's going on? Raz tries to actually do that. Raz is...
Yeah, he does try and jump scare you, huh?
Yeah, Raz is a jump scare guy. But I feel like you don't want to do that to Cassante. Cassante doesn't care if you try to jump scare.
I mean, you don't want to do it to Bwipo because Bwipo has been looking fearsome in this game, and now we're going to get another attempt.
Oh, and immediately they find the lockup on Blaber, but he's ready to try to turn it around with his own engage. He's going to be killed off first. FlyQuest have found the enemy jungler, but they've traded their own. 1 for 1 so far. Loki trying to get away, but the Twin Fangs are out tonight. He bears those teeth. He's ready to sink them in to C9, and Quad gets another one for his team. 2-0-1 here on the Cassiopeia. FlyQuest up 7-4.
Yeah, they got the shutdown flowers, but it was a huge, huge cost for them. You've been tracking these flashes. That is flash on Zven, flash on Loki. The two main Cloud9 carries here now down in addition to the extra kills going over. This is quite massive for FlyQuest. Let's take another look, because Busio here lying in wait, they kind of go right into it. It is a beautiful snare right out of the brush onto him, so Blaber didn't really get to do anything. And so while there was the sacrifice on the side of FlyQuest of Inspired going down, they got so much more out of it. A double kill here for Massu. The Corki that we were looking at how much tower gold he got already with the extra kills on top. It is looking so nice here for FlyQuest as Bwipo.
Oh, Bwipo wants this. Third in Tofo strike right into the all-out, going after Loki. You already mentioned the man has no flash left, and his ulti's still not off cooldown from the previous fight. Quad going on a killing spree, taking him down as Vulcan now needs to escape. The Eclipse makes him tanky, but it does not make him tanky enough. There's no way home for Leona, and FlyQuest just keeps getting paycheck after paycheck. Rift Herald's alive, and Loki and Vulcan are down. FlyQuest are going to take the tier 1 turret here in the top lane and turn their eyes straight on to the next objective.
Paycheck after paycheck. Are you implying that the FlyQuest members should be getting the Cloud9 members' paychecks in addition to their own?
Yes.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
one after another, after another, after another.
Wow.
Cloud9 is paying for FlyQuest's flights to Brazil right now. If they don't change something about this, I'll tell you what.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The free flights. That is sick. Are we going to get business? It's only one game. There's only one game.
That's true.
Calm down.
That's true. Maybe it's just one seat.
Don't be a game one Andy Flowers.
All right. Hey. I'm all right.
And they didn't even win that game yet.
I'm with you. Busio going in, trying to stop Blaber from being able to secure the dragon. He will, however, get the smite. I don't really see any way for him to meaningfully, reasonably get out of this. Trying to use the Vault Breaker to continue the escape, but the noxious blast from Cassiopeia tags him, and there's just no way out of it after that. Nicely picked up from Quad. They'll get that punish, and FlyQuest will take the opportunity with their wave pushing up mid to now use the dead enemy jungler for even more tempo, even more gains, even more objectives into the tier 2 here in the mid lane. Busio scaring Loki back. Cloud9 scared to step forward. Tier 2 turret dead in the dirt.
So I preemptively, at the last series, I submitted my vote for player of the series and player of the week at the same time. I was like, you know what? It's got to be Quid.
We had an amazing series.
Yeah, I was so confident. However, there is often this comparison between Quid and Quad.
Very similar names.
Because their names are so close. And currently, Quad is making me regret my early submission because this Cassiopeia is already an outstanding performance, and I've only just started this game. Wow, look at that. Production right on top of it.
Look at that.
This game is only 18, almost 19 minutes in, and he's already 11k damage and dominating here on the Cassio. With most of his flashes, I think all of them, but I'm going to go with most, just so there's a possibility, a little leeway
Right,
there.
yeah. Give yourself some wiggle
Most
room.
of them have been used forward to grab a lot of these kills, so it certainly seems like he wants to make a very strong case here to contest Quid, his evil twin, in the race for player of the week.
All right, we'll see if we can keep that tempo up. We do have Voracious Otacon spawning in 25 seconds. I know it's Voracious because it wasn't Ruinous in the previous series, so I just don't believe that one exists anymore.
True. If you can't see it,
it's not there.
Then is it really does it even exist? Object permanence.
I don't have it.
Yeah, should we revisit object permanence as a philosophical debate?
Well, I'm not a Shaco player or an Evelyn player or a Twitch player, so I don't really know.
I'm going to stay on the side of science for now.
Okay.
And say that it does if you... Okay, here we go, Busio.
Well, it looks like Busio is staying on the side of the map that should belong to Cloud9, does not belong to Cloud9 any longer. So let's see what are we going to get here from C9 to try to stop what FlyQuest is doing. It just seems like they have no answers, man.
It's really dark, and if you're going into a Zyra and a Cassiopeia...
Uh-oh. Well, Blaber's going straight into a body bag after this one if he isn't any more careful. Is getting away?
Yeah, it was a really good ult timer there. He ulted and immune the Cassante pushback, and so Bwipo still went flying, but Blaber got to stay in place because he Vi ulted just as Bwipo ulted, and so Blaber saves his own life there, which is critical because Flowers, again, this game, still not wrapped up yet. And even with Otacon here, it looks like we're going for resets for everybody to resupply. Massu's headed straight towards mid to push mid first, though, and get them the extra pressure.
And you can see Bwipo also going top, ready to push that out. He has his teleport ready so he can join the Otacon fight if they try to force something before he's ready to rotate. So easy move for him on that one. Still working towards the second fully completed item for Bwipo. Quad now with both damage over time mage items. The Rylai's Scepter done for Inspired is also so obnoxious on this Zyra. The champion's already immaculate at zone control, and now every stupid little plant slows you down permanently if you're in its range.
Yeah, exactly. This squad with early vision control is really, really hard for Cloud9 to face check into. So we'll see. They're coming back, retaking vision right now. Bwipo on Cassante has been an absolute monster, and he pushes the top wave all the way in and then teleports down to add the extra pressure here. Now, Loki does have teleport on the Azir. He's going to try and clean up the minion wave first. He does so, and now is on the way.
C9's got to answer this. They can't afford to give away the Voracious Otacon, but FlyQuest are starting it up and daring them to come challenge. Bwipo with a third in Tofo strike, ready and prime. Knocks back Zven, but the follow-up is not there. Zven shifting away, keeping himself alive for now. Bwipo still at about half HP. Already used the teleport to join the fight, so it's not like he can go back to the base and heal. But he's at the prime state for being able to use the all-out. C9 have managed to hold the area well enough to stop FlyQuest's attempt at the Otacon. But meanwhile, Vulcan face checks into the brush. He and Bwipo could be in a little bit of trouble here, but no, it's Busio down first. Zven grabbing the kill as Bwipo brings Vulcan back, and it's a one-for-one trade. Thanatos and Blaber coming up through the bot side of the river, but Bwipo and Massu are hurt. FlyQuest grouping up with the remaining 4 players, but they don't want to overextend here in this fight. The next Drake is already live, and C9's working on it.
Yeah, that was a little bit risky there from Busio and Bwipo because Quad was bottom lane. Now this Dragon pull, though, look at the flank from Blaber on the side. He has Vi ulti.
Blaber wants this, but Bwipo's still safe. They're trying to just force down the Drake and then get out. FlyQuest does not want to allow it to happen. Quad looking to slither his way forward. The Drake stolen away by Inspired. Beautiful moves from Massu there, Valking back out of the way as Blaber tried to do anything when he was caught. Vi is a one-way kind of champion, and he's not getting out. Beautifully fought from FlyQuest.
They win the smite fight, and then they take down Blaber in the aftermath. Flowers. FlyQuest racking it up right here. That's going to even up the Dragons here to a piece. Meanwhile, they're also going to get the secondary big benefit of clearing out a lot of the vision leading up to Otacon. Because again, it is really hard to face check this team, and so getting the vision control after the fight is also quite big. Let's take a look at this smite fight here, because they walk up, and this is fair.
Yeah.
This is straight up good old-fashioned smite fight. Who combos better?
209.
Yeah, went for a little bit early there, the first one. About 209 damage, as you said, early there, and Inspired was able to then clean it up afterwards.
Massu unafraid to just fly forward on this Corki now as well. And I like what you mentioned back in draft, talking about how they lock in this Cassiopeia, seeing Vi and Leona on the enemy team, trying to play Vi into Zyra Cassiopeia when you are not really far ahead of the curve of the game. It just feels impossible. You know you're going to die every single fight. You just have to try to get an ulti that makes it worthwhile, and Blaber hasn't been able to do that.
All right, FlyQuest, they're trying to push up mid and bottom here to gain priority, again, leading to this Otacon that is still available. They're pushing Cloud9 out of their own jungle. They successfully do so. There is one ward left behind, but they find it now too. So they have successfully taken full vision control leading up to it. Oh, there's a little bit of a straggler down there.
Okay.
That does see it. I believe it is, yep, it is a regular ward, so that one will stay there. They know that it's not being taken, so Cloud9 have a little bit of safety there with that information. It just really is difficult with the 6 grub bonus plus the gold lead that FlyQuest have right now.
Yeah.
For Cloud9 to get back in, but let's see if Blaber can kind of lead the way here on this buy. It's a dangerous job. but he goes for it and he gets the control ward out of Try. That is actually huge.
Yep.
A safe pathway now lit up for Cloud9 to come contest the objective again.
Well, FlyQuest would love to make those roads dangerous once more as C9 continues sweating, trying to deal with the threat of this voracious Otacon. Baron now also live on the map. So C9 knows that if they try to fight for Otacon and they lose, their opponents are going to get 2 massive buffs as long as they still have enough guys left to do it. You already mentioned earlier the damage potential on objectives from Zyra and Cassiopeia. You don't need the whole team alive to take stuff with these 2 champions.
Yeah, they can burn through those things so quickly. And you can see once again, they want to do step number 1, push up these mid and bottom wave first. Interesting that Cloud9 have Loki topside, pushing the topside wave. His teleport is ready.
True shot barrage.
You don't get a lot of time though.
Yep, it's going to see Otacon at about 75% HP, now down to about 50. Bwipo playing the bouncer. He does not want to allow C9 into the club, but Loki is trying to get his friends in the front door. Otacon already secured inspired by FlyQuest. Bwipo jumping into the back lines because he knows he has the false life. They'll claim the Otacon. They'll lose one of those pseudo GAs, and now FlyQuest has 2.5 minutes to run the Rift even harder than they already were.
And guess where they're going to run, Flowers?
Straight to the Baron.
Yep, exactly. There is one large purple objective on the map. Oh, Catacon.
Yeah,
because
that Catacon was claimed by FlyQuest.
That is
2 cats.
2 cats. 2 cats
Good
adopted.
job, FlyQuest.
Good job.
2 cats. You ought to ask him. See if you can get one of those.
Honestly, I should. And nobody tell Travis.
Travis, you better be watching. This is for charity.
Exactly. That could be us.
Yeah.
One of those cats. Ooh, that's a Zonia, or that's an arm guard I see picked up for quad Flowers. So extra safety here behind one of the mega carries. And he's very close to level 16. Cassio, dangerously close to level 16 here. So very threatening in these team fights. And Cloud9, the only GA that they were able to remove was Bwipo's. So
it's not the best one.
This Baron is just, well, it's burning down. Here we go. Can they do anything? Blaber might full send for a steal.
Yeah, Blaber just has to use himself as a human torpedo and try to steal it away. I feel like that's the only angle, but hold on. Vulcan and Zven putting a little bit of damage here into quad. He's low, but he's not dead yet. Zven has to shift away defensively. Busio still getting a lot of damage here on the front line. FlyQuest has messed this up. C9 responding to it well as they pop another one of the false lives, and quad is too low to continue fighting.
As the game goes on, if Cloud9 have vision and can get some of this long-range poke down, they can certainly turn the story around on FlyQuest here. That was very quick. Spired's going to make a beeline over to that dragon, but he's a little bit hesitant as far as their vision coverage on Baron. Once they get better coverage on Baron, turns on back to it.
All right.
I think he's got at least right back, though. He's outside of range.
Yeah, the plants are a little bit too far away, but Inspire taking this will bring FlyQuest to Soul Point. Very important. This kind of goes back to the previous Smite fight that they won as well. Makes that much more important if they're now set up in this good spot for the rest of the game.
And remember, this is a Muramana Jayce. Like this, he didn't go Fimbulwinter for the bruisery Jayce. The Muramana plus the Ezreal here with another Muramana transformed. That Cloud9 poke, that range that we highlighted in Champion Select Flowers, that they're definitely going to need to utilize that before some of these fights actually take place to get some better footing for themselves. They did successfully avoid that doomsday scenario that you brought up where Otacon plus Baron went over.
But the other thing that I'm a little bit worried about, and this kind of ties our last 2 points in together, with the Dragon now at the Soul Point stage for FlyQuest, it's a Mountain Soul. That is so annoying versus a poke. If you're a poke team trying to play into it, the shield does so much to absorb those shock blasts, absorb those mystic shots, and if FlyQuest can secure that last one, all of a sudden the C9 win condition becomes that much more difficult. FlyQuest, I do want to see them continue trying to push this forward. It feels like they're stalling out a little bit now as Cloud9 has been able to answer the attempts that they've made.
And Cloud9 have multiple threats. Like, they have pick potential on this team too, as highlighted a lot with the Leona and the Vi. So maybe they also get themselves back into the game with some picks on side lanes. It definitely is a possibility when you have that much hard engage. Blaber, Loki, or Vulcan all could make the critical pick, but currently they've got Loki pushing bottom again. He does have his teleport ready. The Baron is burning so fast, though.
Yeah, this just dies so quickly to the double massive AP threats of Zyra and Cassiopeia. Vulcan going in, looking to go after Massu. He's trying to get himself away, and the Baron has already been claimed by Quad. Busio looking for the engage onto Loki and Vulcan is already down. Bwipo taken super low, but he ain't going to be killed off yet. Goes all out, drags Loki through the wall. Busio ready to try to help him out, but Loki stays alive. Zven gets the kill back on Busio. Dead bodies on both sides. Massu and Inspired trying to get away because C9 has killed 3 on FlyQuest. +1 for them so far. Might just be +2. Massu getting away still. Zven on the hunt. Final Mystic shot not going to hit, but beautiful aim from Thanatos. FlyQuest have lost everybody except Inspired.
Nice shot there from Thanatos. Maybe the Lakers pick him up too. That one was from downtown. Making some good trades recently. Honestly though, let's take a look, because they get the Baron and then Busio goes over the wall and they kill off Vulcan, but the sweep in here, oh, actually, it was quite nice from Bwipo to be able to get back out to the other side. They end up going down. Loki's still surviving, though. And again, it's Thanatos and Zven from the backside with these double transformed Muramana able to chase them down and pick up the extra kill as well.
Nicely done from C9. This felt like such a dangerous game for them for so long. FlyQuest having the leads that they did, controlling all of the grubs, getting the feats early. It felt like Cloud9 was just being suffocated out of the game. But like you've been talking about, using the range, using the poke, finding a way to handle the fight so that FlyQuest can't play to their strengths, it's working out, and they're holding on.
I was quite surprised that Loki also survived that. Like, that was some miracle plays there from Loki. Survived in the end, got the big sweep
Trickster
back.
God.
Trickster God. He got the last laugh in that play for sure, even though FlyQuest got the objective first. So you're still in a scenario where it's like, okay, well, FlyQuest already took the objective off the map before they lost the fight. So even though they lost the fight, the rewards for Cloud9 weren't as large as they normally would be.
C9 still down about 2,000 gold. The big thing that's going to happen here is 75 seconds from now, the Drake will spawn. FlyQuest have the Baron for the next 45 seconds. Their Baron power play is at -1,000. As Bwipo marches forward, trying to find an opportunity to go for a pick, flashes in, Pathmaker to not get caught out by the Emperor's Divide. Massive follow over the Magnet Storm from Busio, but where's the damage? 2 dead on C9. Blaber and Loki drop, and that's the killer instinct FlyQuest needed, and it's from Bwipo.
Dude, Bwipo is doing work this game. I thought it might be another case where he was a little bit too far from the team, but man, that was beautiful. Bought enough time. Busio is then able to follow up, and FlyQuest now on the march. This tower doesn't stand a chance either. 6 Void Grubs flowers,
easy.
Instantly gone.
They're taking that one, no problem. Inhibitor's gonna drop now as well. Still 20 seconds before Blaber or Loki is back alive. Loki's teleport should be back off cooldown by the time that he respawns. But the thing is, Blaber and this dragon are spawning at the same time. Blaber has no ability to teleport down here. FlyQuest are in a great spot to immediately secure themselves a Mountain Soul.
Yeah, I mean, unless Thanatos actually had like a crazy half-court shot with the Jayce, there's actually no way they're stealing this.
No shot, man. He would have to land that thing from the parking lot.
Yeah, that's real. Okay, Zven made an attempt there at least. But,
okay.
Not too close. Didn't have the info on the health. And so there you go. You do get FlyQuest finally getting that Mountain Soul. Though, respect to Cloud9 for several of these fights that we saw in the last couple minutes to contest them a bit. In the end, it is still going to be such a massive advantage here, since you have the permanent buffs of the pushing power of Void Grubs and the safety from some of that poke damage of the Mountain Soul that you talked about, and getting all 3 of those last ones, adding up the passives from even the individual Mountain Souls also helps a lot.
Yeah, Bwipo is so tanky in this game now. You can see Iceborne, plus Spirit Visage, plus the Jack Show. He's got the upgraded Mercury Treads as well from the feats. He's got 3 Mountain Dragons individually, plus that Soul like you're talking about. This Cassante is a brick wall.
That's why he's so confident. And you saw the last one, even with a large distance between him and the rest of the team, he's like, I am going to go forward. He forces the Azir ultimate, goes straight through it, because Cassante, and then able to use his ultimate to get right back to the team and bring one target into their hands. Actually, just really beautiful stuff there. Cassante, certainly a pro champion of all time.
Yes, sir.
Cloud9 do take a single objective, though. They get a little bit of a counter here. Mid lane tower finally going down for themselves, getting some gold.
Well, Zven's just trying to clear out some of the weeds as he makes his way back towards the C9 base. Less than 1 minute until Baron respawns. Remember, the previous Baron, yes, FlyQuest got it, but then everybody except Inspire died. So C9 got a good punish. The Baron didn't end up meaning a ton for FlyQuest. We'll see how sloppy, how crazy, how violent this Baron take gets now, because you know that's going to be the next objective again for FlyQuest. They know they needed to push up. They know they have all this range and poke to deal with on the side of C9. And for C9, we're starting to get to the point where you're not going to have as many mistakes left. You're not going to get too many more chances, so everything's got to be clean here.
All right, let's see it. Everybody mid here, Flowers.
A-Ram.
A-Ram indeed, but FlyQuest have the advantage because both their side lanes are the ones pushing. Both minion waves there for FlyQuest. Bottom one gets up to tower, and here we have the spawn of Baron. Looks like they're going to try and draw them in once again. Cloud9 here. Blaber goes over the wall, trying to find a little bit of an angle for himself. Busio doing the same on Rell. Nobody stepping up, though. Nobody making that critical mistake. They know the rewards for the next team fight are massive, massive, massive here.
They're not going to start up the Baron. Instead, they're just going to grab the free vision from the super-powered late-game Scuttle Crab. Picks that one up for Inspired. FlyQuest, control over the topside river. It is very dark. It is very scary for C9 right now. The Baron's still not going to be attempted. Bwipo looking to step forward. Massu's already lost half HP. He's got to be a little bit careful about this one. Busio looks for the angle, but he does not find Shattering Strike. A little bit more poke flying out. Doesn't connect there from Thanatos. Blaber trying to just clear out some of the wave. Again, keep your eyes on Blaber. 0, 5, and 3 so far this game. Has died a lot of times. The 5 roll is so hard to play here.
They're out of blue trinkets. The vision here game, it's so hard for them to play. Cloud9 have used every blue trinket. They need one to come back up. Oh,
yeah, Blaber's isolated. It's all out, all in, all over for Blaber.
Yeah, they started moving in because they had no further ways to check this fog of war, and then it's just so dangerous. FlyQuest do a really good job turning and going to pick off Blaber.
It's a rough day to play Vi in the LTA.
It is. I mean, this is not a record-setting one. But, you know, it depends on how long the game goes, I guess.
But, again, I'm just saying, it's so hard to play it into these champions, to play it into this comp. 0, 6, and 3. He's been a part of 1/3 of the total kills. He's died so many times because it's just so difficult to find an angle to get in, to find a way to play these fights. And back there, the Cassiopeia miasma, you're going to see it again right here, makes it so there's no possible chance.
Yeah, beautiful stuff here. And then Bwipo just gets around the outside, brings him on back. Jungler down means they get another Baron for themselves. Let's see this time around how quickly FlyQuest can push in. Because when you are at a little bit of a range disadvantage and the game goes on, Baron is your biggest boon in trying to actually end one of these games. Mid lane is still open, of course, and so you can try and push up and go get that inhibitor. Side lanes, though, the secondary towers on side lanes have a lot of gold inside them, Flowers.
Yeah.
Fun fact, the construction on those side lane turrets, they just put treasure inside. The secondary ones loaded with gold, and so FlyQuest do want the local gold out of those. Once again, Massu and Zven kind of trying to trade damage there early on. Massu, of course, starts with the extra advantage of the Mountain Soul.
Yeah.
And so he leaves a little chunk of damage there on Zven. Meanwhile, it just regenerates his Mountain Soul shield himself.
Okay, we've got the bottom lane wave pushing up towards that tier 2 loot pinata that you were talking about. Plus 5,000 gold lead for FlyQuest, about to become 5.5 as they take down this tier 2 turret. C9 not overcommitting to the defense of this. It's almost 40 minutes into the game. You don't want to throw the last 40 minutes of gameplay away for a tier 2. Bigger problem, though, for C9. You are now looking at a FlyQuest team that has this Baron for another minute and 20 seconds, and 15 seconds from now, the Elder Drake is spawning. Baron plus Elder could be a possibility for FlyQuest the combined super buffs, a C9 nightmare.
Actually insane neutral buffs for FlyQuest right now. And once again, they've got priority on the objective, Flowers. They've got the vision control here. Let me check. Blue trinkets seem to be on cooldown again.
Busio has found Blaber as he wanted to get some sort of an angle here on the flank, and Quad locks him up with a miasma yet again. Blaber is dead before the fight even starts. Inspire drops the ulti and then goes golden. A double kill for Quad as Loki falls. Thanatos will join him. All of C9 is sunk, and FlyQuest just found exactly what they were looking for.
That road, Flowers, that leads straight to the Nexus. They're going straight up mid. That is a dub for FlyQuest. Once again, objective priority. They get him with the jump. Busio's able to find it on the side, and they are going to push us into elimination point here for Cloud9 in this series.
Man, Busio knew exactly how Blaber was trying to play this game. He knew where he probably was going to be. He finds him in the bush. He shuts him down. FlyQuest gets their fight. FlyQuest ran this game from the very beginning, and FlyQuest takes game 1.
Cool stuff from them. I mean, It did start in a dream scenario for FlyQuest where their dual AP carries of Zyra and Cassio getting money really early on, allowing them to control the Void Grubs, get the full 6-pack. Just nicely done from them, constantly getting to the objective first, making sure that this Cloud9 squad was going to have to face check them, and getting, cooldown victory after cooldown victory. Also, huge props to Bwipo on the front line, creating so many plays for them.
Yeah, and hey, reminder, we were talking about it before the game. LTA North Twitch subs are back. Join the community for exclusive content, including the League of Legends in-game emote, why not, for paid and gifted subs. Plus, get access to all of our exclusive LTA North Twitch emotes like Gigaflowers, that's mine. And who knows, maybe something special even happen if you type feet. Subscribe to the LTA today, and we'll be right back with Game 2. But first, earlier today, Raz caught up with our first 2025 LTA North MasterCard Player of the Week, Quad. Check it out.
Welcome everybody to the Week 1 MasterCard Player of the Week. Congratulations on being able to receive it. First of all, I want to be able to ask you, you dominated Shopify in your first week, in your first performance on Azir Cassiopeia. You went nearly deathless. How does it feel to be able to win your first Player of the Week?
To be honest, I don't think I get play of the match because I think Alan did it very well. I think he made me play of the match. But I play well too. Yeah.
True. It was a team victory on that one, and I felt like last year you showed the world that you were the best mid laner in the LTA in the league. So what do you feel like is the difference between you and the other mid laners in this league?
Now I don't really know what I'm different with the other mid laner because these days my performance is not really good. Maybe more smart. I'm not sure. Maybe I can answer next match this question.
Okay, because I feel differently. I think you played really well, and I think like your teammates have always been really supportive of you. Even like in the first week in which you were playing, like Inspired had his interview where he said like very like positive things about it. The entire team has only really spoken positively of you. Like, how did you feel being able to get the team support?
I think like when I made mistake in game, my teammates say always nice thing or like cheer me. I think this made me show good performance. I think I really appreciated this one. Yeah.
Okay. Because like once again, I feel like you're always like you're being too humble. Like I feel like he's being too humble. What do you guys think?
I think he's. I think it's important to be humble. I think that ultimately, like he only played one split. One split, can be considered to be a fluke. So I think that from his position, I think it makes sense to be a little bit humble. But I think he's an exceptional player, and he can continue to show the world what he's capable of if he keeps his work up.
You guys feel the same? Yep. Honestly, so like, what's your shout out to the Quad and the FlyQuest fans out there that are going to be continuing to support you?
I always thank you for cheering for us, and then I will try my best, no matter what. And I will win again. Thank you.
And thank you. Congratulations on winning your MasterCard Player of the Week one more time. And show that off to the camera.
Oh. Huh, nature sure is full of wonders. Red Bull gives you wings.
The new Red Bull Zero is here. 100% wings with monk fruit extract.
Rich in the ground before Dove can even get there. In time to try to knock out as Impact gets burst.
Don't feed. Get fed. Scan the QR code for LTA deals only on Uber Eats.